But when I got out of jail, I was really starting from scratch. And I'm so grateful for people like John Jay here, who put this together, who got me out here. Who will be playing music long before you get tired of my voice, I hope, if you're not already. And Stephen for helping put this together. Thank you very much. And for everybody else who's helping me get back on my feet and relaunch Adam versus the Man. And if you want to help out, please, suggest a donation for being here tonight is $20. But I only want you to do it if it feels good, if it makes you feel good about supporting this message. And it hurts me to admit it, but before this experience, I learned a lot of lessons the hard way in this last year. But my podcast and my whole media production was really only about half of what it should have been, for lack of organization and inconsistent production values. And I've already today met a handful of guys doing independent media production and so many great activists with Come and Take It, like Murdoch here. But what I really want to do in rebuilding the show is make it a platform to promote other people's good work. And I think we're going to be in a real good position to do that when we relaunch with everybody's help here tonight. So thank you very much for being a part of that. The other wonderful thing I figured out while enjoying my government-induced, taxpayer-funded spiritual retreat was that I started writing a book. And it's kind of cool that you can go back and do a survey of the literature of our movement. And it really is a young movement. I mean, even if you want to go back all the way to Plato, to Socrates, and then, ideas kind of went a little dormant for a while, but you can go to John Locke, the Lockean concept of property rights. Yeah, give it up for John Locke. All right, we got a fan over here. All right, it's going to get better every generation. You've got Ludwig von Mises. You've got Hayek. You've got Ayn Rand. You got Murray Rothbard. Murray Rothbard. Sam Konkin. No? All right. Okay, well, this is really important, all right? Sam Konkin, much lesser-known libertarian philosopher. But, I think it was really Rothbard that first codified this philosophy as we know it. And, of course, everybody knows, and I'm going to rip off a line from Konkin here, and then you'll all remember him. There are two definitions of libertarian. One, anybody who calls himself a libertarian. Two, anybody who agrees with me on absolutely everything. Otherwise, you're not a libertarian. So, Konkin's idea was agorism, the idea of civil disobedience through economics or counter-economics, right? Bitcoin is such an important part of this. I mean, how many transactions are taking place completely outside of the purview of government now? Everything that you do that is black market is an act of disobedience, is a way of withdrawing your consent of the state. How many of you, y'all know how ridiculous the IRS tax code is, right? Anytime you barter at all, you're actually supposed to report it to the IRS. Yeah. Good luck enforcing that one. But it's kind of scary that they can come after anybody because everything is illegal. And that kind of gets us to the definition of a police state, right? Every single American today is a criminal. There are books about this. One is called 3 Felonies a Day. Holy crap, 3 felonies a day? Yeah, that's the average. I'll bet in this room the average is a little higher than that. Yeah, 18? I hope it's higher than that. If y'all are doing your job, it should be a lot higher than that. But that's a pretty scary point we've come to. Well, the book that I came up with really combines these ideas of localization and the idea of true emotional freedom, psychological liberty, in a way that has never been captured before, but also captures the entire philosophy with the backdrop not of the American government, but of the global phenomenon of statism. because that's what we're up against. It's not just what we're up against here in America. And when you see it this way in the bigger picture, you're able to see it as part of a much more evolutionary process. Now, I'm not going to bust out my table of contents here and start passing it around and bust out my laptop and start reading from the first draft of the book. But for those of you that want to get into this and make this an interactive discussion, again, thanks to Murdoch, we've got an event tonight at 10 o'clock at the IHOP in the back room there, and we'll be able to have a little more serious conversation, break it down a little bit, talk about the book, get some feedback. And for people that want to be on the secret early review list, you can bribe your way onto it. We've got reviewers from all around the world already signed up to help me focus group this first draft. Because it's got to be the message, if you understand it from this philosophical perspective, has to be as true anywhere in the world as it is today. Because liberty is something that we all want as human beings. And if I got one takeaway from my experience in Fallujah, it is that there's a certain universality of the human experience. And that is why the strive for liberty is something that is universal. This unique gift of human consciousness wants to respect its own will, wants to be free, and it is our destiny as a species to achieve a voluntary society. So if you understand that, it's really just a matter of how. I got to make sure I'm not slowing down John Jay here. All right. Because we are coming to a critical turning point in the human experience. And I don't just mean what I was talking about earlier, where we feel government's grasp slipping away. I mean, do you appreciate just how huge the drug war is to the government racket? We are witnessing the beginning of the end of the drug war right now. That is huge. How many people who just go, damn, I just want to smoke weed, are going, well, wait a second. I just want to own a gun and be able to defend myself. Wait a second, I just want to trade and be able to keep the product of my labor. Hey, I just want to own property instead of being a renter paying taxes on living somewhere to a government that doesn't give a crap about my rights. You see that falling away? And the drug war is, I mean, holy shit, what a moral crime is it to say, you can't put what you want in your own body. I own you because I am government. How disgusting is that? And when you assert it on that fundamental level, no, I own myself. I get to decide what I put in my own body, and no one else can. You see what follows from that? But of course, the government is right back there with the fear, you know? But who will build the roads? People acting peacefully. People that don't get their money from theft called taxation. Holy shit, what a concept. But government is right back there with the fear. Let's remind them why they need us. Sorry, every time I do that, I need to drink some water.